Need a hand there?
No, not yours.
Not your clammy grippers.
I got my own.
Or your grippy clammers. I don't.
Welcome back to what we usually do.
We've missed you.
We video game.
This is a thought that I've had since the beginning, like since we started this. And I might have even mentioned it at some point. How many other podcasts do you think are out there that do like this formula of just like playing some obscure video game? This isn't obscure, but like as far as like content goes, it's relatively obscure. And just talk about random ass shit. Because like usually there's like a gimmick, which that's not to say we aren't gimmicky, but we never have a point. And that's the thing.
Yeah, I mean, the talk about whatever's on your mind thing, that's been done before. But this is kind of why I thought this would be interesting to do, because we talk better when we have something else occupying us.
I guess that is the thing that is the constant.
Yeah, like we were playing Mario Kart a lot, and then we
make an excuse to do it.
Yeah, we talk good like this, so let's do it more and let people hear us. Because we just got like funnier and deeper because of our pretty ladies that we drive.
Don't overthink that.
We are driving women.
I think just the women are driving.
But we operate them.
Are you suggesting that we control women? Welcome to...
You said it, not me.
The most intense episode.
Oh, that's why we got the topics out, so we didn't talk about this shit.
Yeah. And that should deprive you of every single talking point you had.
All right, topic number 1 on my list. Or do you want to do the dice roll thing again? So we don't...
Let's do the dice roll.
Let's do the dice roll? Okay. We like to race, but I can sacrifice my position, because it doesn't really fucking matter. Right,
it matters to me.
How many do I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Get a D12. Are there D12s? That's a nice band. That's a good band. You ever heard that band, D12? Here's a D12. It's like Eminem and some other fucking guys, like rappers, whatever. D12. You ever heard that band, D12? It's like Eminem and some other guys.
Like what guys?
50 Cent?
What letter, what number again? Who's Eminem?
D and 12.
What does that have to do?
The chocolate.
What does that have to do with candy?
Oh, we went to the same place.
Oh, I've tried D12s before. They're pretty good.
Okay, this isn't that funny. What number are we getting? Number 2. Okay, number 2 on the list.
Number 10. Die.
Okay. Well, it's been a nice life. Okay, number 2 is common things that we don't understand. So, like,
what on things that we don't understand?
Common things that we don't understand. Like, shit that we deal with in everyday life that doesn't make sense to us if you actually think about it.
That thing you just said was something I didn't understand at
Okay,
first.
there's one. The example I have written down there is fridges.
Is this, pardon my imposition,
Okay.
is this a more sophisticated way of saying, what is the deal with such and such?
Yes. So, something I legit don't understand about fridges.
Okay.
Everything about fridges.
How do they work?
Yeah. Like, how does plugging it in, like, just putting electricity into it, it just takes heat away from things?
I can give you historical insight into this, but I am not a frigist or an engineer.
Okay, tell me.
Don't look up frigist. I'm afraid that might mean something else.
Oh, okay.
Or do. I don't care.
Tell me what you know.
They actually... I hope you're sitting down.
I am.
Because they actually cool things... Ready for this Michael Vsauce moment?
What's up?
By heating them.
What?
Do you hear the Vsauce sound in your head?
that little, like...
Wow.
Yeah. Little
there's a gas called Freon gas that... Or I'm sorry, I'm thinking of a different method. Freon gas is what you put in your AC and
I think
in your
that
car.
has Freon in it, too. Maybe.
Some forms of fridges may.
I think the mini fridge does.
There's a specific type of gas that works for like camper fridges and I think most old style fridges that they have this compressor that releases this gas and it's built into the fridge, which the compressor runs on the electricity.
Okay.
But there's also a pilot light. And what that does is burn the gas, to which for some reason the absent space that like the compressor leaves becomes icy cold, like below zero. Helium operates in a very similar manner. Like when you use lasers on it, that's, there's a lot of like scientific exploration into that, but it's like a simplified version of that where as the gas leaves and heats up or like expands and escapes, the space that is left becomes like increasingly cold. And
that's what like touches and
Yes.
cools down the air.
It's the same process of like when you hook up like a cooling coil or a heating coil or a heat sink. You know, that like metal like ribbon looking thing that's attached to like computers and stuff, or like pre-built computers that keeps your CPU from overheating.
I think so.
It's like a little like metal like band looking thing.
Huh.
So there's like an upscaled version of that, but obviously it's conducting the cold, not the heat.
Yeah.
The only reason I know this is I went to tour a historic home in Tennessee that like had one of those things, and the old compressors were so dangerous that they would just spontaneously explode sometimes, because obviously like it's direct current and like they didn't have like the most sophisticated wiring, so it just would like overload and like either superheat the gas or like too much would escape and it would like freeze a hole in something. They were just very dangerous, and also in some way slightly toxic to be around. Like they weren't radioactive, but they emitted a byproduct that was not healthy and would cause cancer. Yeah, I think the evolution of that began from ice boxes, which was just like straight up, they're like, okay, let's build a wooden box and put ice in it, and that'll keep our shit slightly cooler for a while. Mm-hmm. But even like without AC, like you just end up with a puddle on your floor in like 15 minutes.
Because I don't get what like the lead up to it is. Because somebody had to figure that shit out.
Yeah.
Or like a team of people had to figure that shit out. Somebody or some group of bodies were smart enough to figure out, like, if we make something get hot, it'll leave behind a cold space, and we can make that touch our food.
Well, you know how they say, like, invention is a result of necessity?
Yeah.
That shit's wrong. People are just mostly fucking around. Like,
they're like, wait, we can use this for that.
Think about how many times yourself you've been like fucking around with like fire when you shouldn't have been, and then you just discovered something.
I get burned. I feel like the weirdest and like
it might have been like butane for all I know.
Like the best inventions come from not necessity, but just something happened.
Yeah, I think that's like how they were like they invented the bicycle or like the penny farthing, whatever the precursor to it is, which is something I don't understand. Like bikes, I don't get it. Why did they think that was like somehow better than walking or just like taking like a carriage or something? Because it's like it's a mechanical device, yeah, and it's slightly more efficient. But can you imagine the work that went into like producing them before they were like common knowledge? And like I think it started as a trend that never meant to happen, but I don't know.
What's interesting to me is that why 2 wheels for the first instinct?
Yeah, why not just 4, or you know, like a better form of a carriage?
Yeah, why do you have to like practice balance to learn how to ride a new thing?
I don't know. It's another thing where I think they're just fucking around. They're like,
this is kind of fun.
They're effectively doing like whatever a jackass does. That's pretty much how alcohol was invented. One of the world's oldest inventions was just like, okay, we're gonna put this substance out. Let it sit, come back, and see what happens.
And why would they think to drink it? That's the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Thirsty.
But it takes the water away.
More thirsty.
I need to drink more. Oh no, I feel funny.
Oh no.
I died. A little bit less than that.
Not thirsty anymore.
Because pass away. Do you have any shit that, like the fridge thing for me, you just don't get how it works?
Not to toot my own horn, but
I'm too smart for that.
No. I like that. I
don't have to wonder about the world because
I tend to look it up. Like,
okay.
I don't have to wonder. I know everything. I just sound more and more jaded and conceited the more I wait to answer.
Am I not smart enough to look things up?
You know what I really don't understand is like CPUs. Like I can grasp the concept of pathfinding and everything, but when it comes to like how they compete in general with like users, how they know,
mean, like the computer players.
Yes.
Okay.
Specifically when it comes to like how they respond to user input instead of like what the rules of the game kind of dictate, because that is like a simple response. Like people do that, but humans are like not very predictable unless they put you in like controlled circumstances, which I guess most games do. But I really don't understand like how CPUs, because they're not like AI, it's just a response.
Yeah, like everything they do is programmed as a response.
Yeah, but sometimes they feel unpredictable.
there's oddly a lot of ability in them. Because,
Yeah.
like, obviously they kind of, especially these older ones, like for this game, they don't always work that well, and you can kind of predict them after a certain amount of time of playing with them. But sometimes they kind of have their own personalities, their own, like, styles of play.
Yeah.
And they can play pretty much like a person.
Well, it's like everything that theoretically, because they are built on a script, like everything they say or do or like whatever theoretically should be a response to something else, but sometimes they do, like CPUs and Smash, they sometimes will like target you.
There's
or
so
not.
much, there's so much variability to what they have to do.
Or for instance, like the Monopoly CPUs. It's just like a toss up of whatever they do.
Yeah, those ones seem like they hit buttons and then they hope for the best.
Yeah. So yeah, that's something I don't understand.
I'm sorry I don't have a full explanation for you like you did with the fridges.
That was just happenstance, though. Like, fridges was something that I had a first-hand experience with. What's the deal with fucking traffic, right?
I don't get how it works.
What is the deal?
Why are all you cars out here?
Give me the road.
This is not the thing I don't understand how it works at all, but just something I don't understand why people say it. Some old person sees somebody drive by in a fast car, like going too fast, like cutting people off, and they're like, "Why are you going so fast? We're all going to the same place, buddy." No, the fuck we're not. I'm not going where you're going.
Trying
We're going
to get
to
there
different places.
In one piece, Palio.
Driving on the same road right now, we're going to be on different roads in 10 minutes. That is an incorrect statement. Why do people say that?
I don't know. I think road rage is one of those like perfect examples of how subjective people can be, especially like you see that in like multiplayer games where something that inconveniences them affects everyone at the individual level, and then therefore like nobody can function. I don't say that expression, but I do understand the mentality behind it, because you're not going to the same place as them, but you conceivably at least going down the same road for a X amount of distance with them.
Yeah.
And if you're going to a traffic light that is like clearly red and going to stay red for the time that you get there, why are they burning that much more gas to get to the same spot that you are?
I have seen a few people do that where they like speed off from a red light to another red light just to like slam on the brakes again.
Yeah. The clearest answer to me to that is just it's ignorance. People are like painfully unaware of like they occupy space on the road and they affect how other people are having to deal with that. And enough people think that they end up responding negatively to the exact thing that they probably would have done in that scenario. It's just like it filters out how clearly, not to be a Redditor, dumb and stupid and ignorant they have revealed themselves to be. Pushes up glasses. Like, I get like soft road rage. I just start questioning everything that the person I see who is a culprit doing. I'm just like, why are you doing that? That doesn't make any sense. What did you hope to accomplish? I don't insinuate anything with them with a gesture, but when I get up to the light next to them, I give them that look.
Yeah. I feel like I get road I don't get road rage. I don't get road questioning. I just get road like, yeah.
Yep.
Like that.
Same old.
They're doing the thing.
I cannot something I cannot understand how people don't get road rage. Like, especially if you're in a larger metropolitan area like we are, where you see a wide variety of drivers that you try not to discriminate against.
Sometimes when you and I are driving, like in the same car, and I'm the driver and you're the passenger, you'll get mad for me.
Yeah, it shocks me that you're not already mad, and it drives home how much more mad I am at them.
You'll be like, "Did you see that?" And I'll be like, "Yeah." You're like, aren't you mad at that?
And
I mean, yeah, they're gone now, so whatever.
It still bewilders me that, like, because of some of the things that I've seen where, like, it's just like people will, like, just straight up go through a red light, like, no regard for, like, the pedestrians in front of them or anything. Mm-hmm. Or, like, they just, like, straight up cut you off, no signal, no nothing. And I just have to look at you while you have to look at the road, and
my expression doesn't change at all.
It doesn't change. That's what I don't understand. I'd be like, if there was ever a time that was justifiably, like, appropriate for you to get mad, it would be right now.
Yeah. I don't know if my subconscious is just like, well, they're gone now, so we don't have to get Like, once it happens, it's done.
Some part of you knows it's not worth killing like the handful of cells by like burning them alive with cortisol in your brain.
I got some sort of natural chill that I'm grateful for.
That's per capita probably why when I play Skyrim, every time I go up to a guard, they're like, "Let me guess, so someone stole your sweet roll." I'm like, yeah,
And then you crash into them.
What are you gonna do about it? You're the authority here. No, don't look away from me.
No, get back here.
Kiss you on the mouth, mister.
Take that helmet off.
Take that helmet off. No, don't look at him.
But back to that phrase, we're all going to the same place. You could just say, like, hey, stop going faster. Slow down there. Stop it.
I think most people are, like, idiomatic in that, like, they want to have something more clever to say than, like, the thing they should be saying.
Well, make something clever then. If they want to make something clever, they could, do that.
That's theoretically what the police should be saying, is stop going faster. But sometimes they're like, I'm issuing you a ticket for your reckless driving.
And that's not smart. Why can't the cops just be cool?
I'd be like, officer, isn't that a little on the nose?
You can think of some of the easy... Jesus Christ.
My wallet? Why, yes, I have it right here.
Let me just grab the gloves.
Tries to grip their hand so you could put your wallet in their hand.
I do have my wallet. I see it there in your pocket. Let me go reach for that.
I think I got a nice shiny quarter behind your ear, too.
I got a nice shiny quarter behind your gun holster. When you've gotten pulled over in the past, which I assume you have many times...
It depends on what you define as many.
One or more.
That is many.
Okay. Has the cop, has he, had his hand on his gun just in case? Like, the one hand on the... He just has it there.
That does nothing but invite anxiety with me because, what if he's just particularly, or she is particularly antsy at the moment? What the fuck? I was in second. How could this happen to me?
Was.
What? Keyword.
Nice. The nice...
58.
It's the smoke number.
The smoke number. Be catching all the smoke.
Yeah.
Up and down, day and night, in my mind. Yes, the cops do love to, I think, as more of a comfort, rest their hand on their gun as they approach me.
It's like they don't know who they're dealing with. So
and it's like that's for personal safety for them too, but also that assumes I am a threat. And if I'm not a threat, then I just feel threatened, which might elicit a defense or a guarding mechanism.
Mm-hmm. As civilians, we kind of just have to trust the police. You have the authority, so we have to just And this isn't like an anti-cop thing.
No. It's just the classic dilemma.
Yeah.
Of that's the position you're in. I guess you have to take the risk in exchange for them defending you in every other circumstance.
It sucks that there are some bad cops out there. I've been watching a lot of cop chase scenes and cop versus criminal interactions on YouTube, compilations of those.
Yeah.
And some of them are when cops have to deal with the dumbest criminals.
Just the worst of the worst.
Or when crooked cops get shown up or something or they finally face the consequences. And there are some wild clips that are insane, two buddy cops that have their body cameras on and are searching the car.
Yeah.
They don't find anything bad, but then they plant incriminating evidence so they don't look racist.
They do it on camera.
Yeah. And they're like, you good? Yeah, you good? They fist bump.
Oh my god.
They're like, yeah, we're good. We're safe.
Classic human error. It should be a foolproof system, but it's not. It's they have one function, and that's to protect the public, even sometimes from themselves. But it's because jackasses can slip through the cracks of the system by just hiding, and then suddenly we end up with this situation that. And it's just really unfortunate because it affects everybody when especially those who are supposed to be the most accountable aren't.
Yeah.
That's something I don't understand is why people abuse the system like that when it would be so much simpler for them to just break the law in the first place.
Just do a simple crime. Don't make it complicated.
I mean, yeah, I guess we could go on about crime because that's just another example of human dodo brain. But
how many crimes have you done recently? Describe them. Date them.
Describe them.
What's your full name again?
Cite them. Speeding ticket.
Me too.
I was one of those drivers. You didn't look like him, but you gave me the John Pork expression.
John Pork. Are you talking? Is that the
it's the one
pig?
shitpost, yeah, the pig dude in the flannel. It's like, John Pork is calling.
Have you seen all the posts that are like simping over him?
Simping over
Like,
John Pork.
Oh my god, it's John Pork. He's there.
Oh my god.
He's so cool. I wish I could beat him. I wish I
I have
could be
not
with
seen
him.
him, no. Be with him. Emotionally.
Spiritually.
Sexually. This is completely unrelated and not on a different talking point, which I feel like we've covered for a lot of the episode,
That's how we do it.
which we should move on.
Okay.
Just because I'm not bored of that conversation, but I feel like I've said everything productive that I'm going to say.
Okay.
This is unrelated, though. Fuck, I forgot.
Forgot what you're gonna say.
Yep.
All that build up.
Shit.
Is it coming?
I'm trying. I'm barely clinging on.
That's my favorite Star Wars race.
Well, it's gone now.
Okay. You want to roll the die?
Yeah. 10.
10. So 10 is talking about, not speaking of, what we're doing right now, doing all-nighters or like staying up super late, why we've had to do them, and whether it actually fucking works or not to like be productive.
Most recently, or just like a good example of why?
I guess examples, whatever comes to mind, but the thing that initiated me to write that down was not as much this semester or like recent semesters, because I haven't had these type of classes as much, but my painting classes, like my standard painting studio classes, because I'm a slacker, because I've fucking put shit off so much.
You said that with pride. I respect that.
There's been a lot of times, and I'm talking about this specific case, but this happens a lot, where I put off a project until like the day before, like the night before, and then I have
preach to the
to
choir.
just crank out everything I can in that last, 8 hours or whatever. And with painting in those classes, I would usually go into the school because the studio is open to whoever, just public, well, students.
Ideally, students.
Yeah.
Sometimes randos like me.
Theoretically, you could walk in because the doors aren't locked during the day. You could stay there as long as you want.
Yeah.
But
Oh, there's cameras, right?
There's
No.
rumors that they don't actually save footage and they just are live feed. So if nobody's watching immediately,
It's honor system.
and also, what do they know? Every single student that comes in, a rando could slip in here and there.
like they have, and I'm sure they do.
Yeah, but I would go into the studio, like the class that we do the painting classes in. So it's pretty big, and for the most part, I would just have it to my own because not many other people stay that late.
Right.
If they do, they go home at like 11 at the latest. So though sometimes I'd be there for like, until 4 a.m. whatever, just doing my paintings, and I would just spend my whole night there. I would paint. I would be listening to music or podcasts, just like blast them off my phone because it doesn't matter. Like nobody else is there to bother. If I need to take a break, I could just like take a walk around campus at night, which is kind of weird and fun sometimes.
Yeah.
Go and get some food if
Weather permitting.
yeah. If Little Caesars is open, I would just go get a pizza and then bring it back to the school. And
It's a good
eat
system.
Pizza. Yeah, it's.
I miss that. I miss that about us.
You weren't with me in those times I did that.
Not a lot of times. I have done those things, though.
Yeah. Although I don't like having to, like, putting myself in that situation, having to stay up late and crank out a project like that, there was something grounding about those nights, whether it's in the painting studio or here at my desk, and I just have to crank out 8 hours of doing some shitty project I don't really want to do.
Yeah.
There's something grounding about it that I can appreciate because I don't have to worry about anything else other than that in the moment. And I find comfort in that, in only having one issue. It's something I can easily understand. I get overwhelmed by having a lot of responsibilities at once. And that's kind of what promotes me to procrastinate because I'm like, it's too much to deal with. I'd rather just put it off in the moment. I work well in the moment.
That seems to be the method I've adopted as well.
Yeah. So if I have one predominant issue, one problem that I have to overcome, and there's a time frame that's approaching, then I get it, and I can just work with that, and I feel at peace there, if that makes sense.
Feel epic.
Like, all I have to worry about is this night. And then once I'm through this night, that's for later me to worry about. I'm right here. Do you have that same kind of experience?
Yeah. So, as a matter of fact, if you weren't going to go first, I was literally going to lead into, like, tonight is a really good example of that. Because this entire semester, I've been working in the lab at campus. It's like a non-scheduled class where I just have to get a certain amount of hours in per week. and I do my research independently. At the end, we'll report it in a way.
Yeah.
And that's worth my grade. And so it's all a matter of how much effort I put in.
Yeah.
And it's all on me. I've been used to that system because I did it once before, but I still seem to find myself operating in the same way of I will not worry about things until I absolutely have a deadline that I need to address. For instance, today was the day that I finally sat down because tomorrow is the day that I have to have it done so that I can finally start compiling all my research together into one thing.
Yeah.
It had to happen either tonight or tomorrow morning, and I was no way going to be able to learn everything that I needed to tomorrow morning because tonight was when I had to upload all of these models that I've been working on to Sketchfab, which I didn't know how to make some of the models in the first place. Like, there was certain critical elements that I was missing, like textures. Shit, I need to get away from you. You're toxic. Well, it's over now, but...
I'm slipping under.
You're like Eggman's jacket. Too cool for school.
And big metal nipples.
4 of them. Like a dog.
Oh my god. He's just like me for real.
Eggman's wife, ugly as a dog. I'm sorry, that was... We try not to get political here. We do
That's
anyway.
one of the least political things you could say in the world.
Just about. A lot of things he says are.
What are you talking about?
That's political.
Oh,
anyway,
yeah, project thing.
Procrastination.
Yeah.
I needed to know how to make textures for an object that I literally didn't know how to make textures for. So I was just watching YouTube tutorial after YouTube tutorial until I finally figured it out and realized that I almost lack the capabilities to do this on my own because, my computer really can't handle it.
Oh.
Blender kept crashing, and I was beginning to panic because I'm like, these are due tomorrow. They have to be ready. So I just kept diving deeper and deeper and deeper and learning more and more until I could just barely get enough shortcuts and save enough processing power and save enough space and storage that I could just barely squeeze it through. And I finally did. And the results are above my expectations. I wish I would have made better use of my time, but they're acceptable to me, and I think they'll impress the people that are going to be responsible for my grade.
That's good.
So, yep, procrastination is yet validated once more for me, and I dive deeper into the pit of insanity.
Yeah, so we will keep doing it forever.
Because it works. So, yeah, tonight is a good example of that. I technically didn't need to stay up all night for it, but, it's 3 a.m.
Yeah. Well, you're not really staying up for that. You're staying up for this currently.
The things that I planned on doing or otherwise would be doing or doing something else, but I'm finally there, and it's like dealing with an addiction. You can nip it in the bud by just being slightly more proactive, but you don't because you just barely get by.
It's gotcha.
It's got me. I mean, I'm glad with the results. I wish that I could start making more healthy habits to just do things preemptively, but I won't.
It does work out oddly well sometimes. There have been many more times, though, that it has not worked out for me. Would you say it's predominantly worked for you to procrastinate? Eventually you do get it done?
Surprisingly, yes. Except for, exams where I actually have to be at a physical place at a certain time, and, doing as little preparation for that as possible can be a little bit strenuous. It's physically showed up. I have to do a little bit for that. It's been surprisingly successful. I'll not do a paper until, the hour before it's due.
Yeah.
I won't spell check it or anything.
Words got you throughout the whole thing anyway.
Yeah, I mean, if you just throw enough words at everything and shotgun it, you don't even really have to worry about spelling because you just right-click. Right-click your way through it. It might not even make grammatical sense, so spelling is the least of your problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, most grades, I get, decent on those papers, and, can you imagine if I would have started with all of the time I was given? Who knows where I'd be, but...
be in space right now.
That comforts me enough.
You'd be the next Elon Musk.
I'd rather not be. Hope I'm not revealing too much of my political views.
You could be a good one, though.
An Elon scent.
You can make a better Facebook. I know I've already talked about this, but one of the times that procrastination didn't work out for me, but then it did somehow, was with that drawing class. Remember that shit?
Oh, yeah, the one you didn't do until 4 hours before you had to?
I didn't do it.
I forgot about that.
We were in
You
the car.
didn't do it.
You lied to me. So for those who don't remember, I talked about this in like the second or third
I
episode.
remember you confessed it like you fucking committed the murders.
I was in a drawing class. It was like a figure drawing class, but the final project we had to do a take-home thing. Like we just worked on it outside of class.
Yeah.
And I put it off for so long, and then me and Nick were hanging out one time, and in the car I was just like, "Yeah, it's too late. Like I know how long this should take, and I can't do it in the amount of time, so I'm just not gonna do it. Like I'm not gonna get enough to turn in."
I don't know if I ever did follow up on that.
So I didn't do it, but I heard. I didn't hear, but like I was getting emails because I was in the email chain of all the students in the class. They were talking about like, hey, like we gotta turn in our drawings. Where are we gonna pick them up afterwards? Because the professor was like, that was his last semester of teaching, so he was like, kind of being a little absent on what the final parameters were, like where the turn in pickup were.
Wasn't even paying attention to the grades.
Yeah, I guess so. I was just like kind of ignoring that, like, well, this doesn't apply to me because I didn't turn anything in. And then at the end of the semester, I was like, okay, time to look at my grades. Okay, A, B, B, C, A. Wait, A for the drawing class? Wait a second.
What?
I didn't turn in my final project, and I checked the like detailed grades, and I got a fucking A on the final project, and I was very confused, and I still am. Because I don't know if he was just like, yeah, I'm not looking at these because I'm fucking out of here.
Yeah.
I already got my paycheck, or what?
I guess don't mess with a good thing, I guess.
Yeah, I'd never talk to him again. I'm never going to.
Don't even do your damnedest to not even evoke a reminder.
Yeah. But Vince, thank you.
You're welcome. Have you ever been like burdened by being a little bit too proactive and then you almost rather would have like not put in the effort because you didn't get the outcome you wanted?
Kind of. The first thing that comes to mind, I don't know if it fully applies to what you're saying. One recently with one of my classes. So I'm retaking one class right now that I did bad in before.
Right.
And usually when I do bad in classes because of absences, because I'm just like, I'm a stay at home.
You didn't show
I don't know
up.
if well, my therapist was like saying, hey, you're depressed. I'm like, okay, then I stay home again.
Try to go out more. Okay. Doesn't.
Yeah. So I was staying home from like classes again on this class that I need to be in class for. And it was my print class, like making fancy stamping is what it is.
Right.
So I was behind on a project again, and I was like, okay, these out of class hours where the studio is open, I need to go into class for it. So I was finally proactive about it. I was like, I got in there and I cranked out the best I could with what I had left, because the critique for it, like where it was due and we were gonna all as a class examine everybody's work, was coming up the next day. So I was like, I literally need to do it now. This is my last opportunity that the studio is open for me to do this.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm like, I can't turn it in late. It's not going to be graded, and I'm going to fail the class again. So I need to do it now, or like, it's going to cost me a bunch of fucking money and time again. So I went in and I did it. And it wasn't what I wanted it to be, but like, I got the best done with what I could. And I was actually kind of happy with what I got out of it. Mm-hmm. The next day going to class, the teacher's like, so hey, I see some people a little bit behind, so we're going to give you an extra week. So I was like, well,
Yeah.
I guess I'll head home early.
Yeah.
Like one of the few times I was proactive, I got kind of screwed for it. I could have saved myself all that stress and just done it in class.
That to me drives home much more the feeling of like I rather would have just stayed home. I feel no need to work on myself after having gone through what I just did.
Yeah, clearly I have no issues.
The probably the last time that I stayed up this late or like did an all-nighter where it was not even worth going to sleep was I had an assignment for my theater class, was, as I understood it, due what would be last Monday. It turns out it's not even due until next Monday due to extensions because of how few people completed it. Oh. And all it is like you have to highlight a couple of lines out of a scene that you're given.
Okay.
Like in like a physical script, and just be like, okay, I think this is kind of what these mean or what they represent. Or like this is how they might be useful to the scene.
Yeah.
And that's it. You just like print that off and you're good to go.
It's pretty simple.
And I was under the impression that I was hella late because I was doing it like before the class and like a minute into the class at the library, printing off my document, only to realize that the teacher just like pushed it ahead to a week. from now because not enough people cared to or tried to do it successfully, and I just was handing it in only to realize that I didn't even complete it correctly anyway because I didn't print off the questions that I had. So I just have that like sitting in my backpack, just waiting to be turned in as is, because I've now realized the grade is not worth the amount of like full points that I would get for it anyway. So I did all this work and like was late to class for nothing. And I was hella tired anyway, so I just like left early.
So the whole thing is solely for you now because like you felt bad about it being late, then it wasn't late, and then turns out you didn't do it fully right. So it's like this is all mute.
Just out of spite, I don't even know if I'll turn it in anyway. I mean, I have everything technically completed to the extent that I would have.
Yeah.
Why would I do any more?
Yeah.
I'll probably just hand it in and forget about it.
Probably. I know you.
It's done now. Like, what am I supposed to do? I wish I would have gotten those hours of sleep back. I might be better off today.
That's the worst feeling when you realize, like, I wish I just slept more.
Yeah.
I hate when I get into my day and I'm like, this would have been better spent not conscious.
Yeah. yeah. That's exactly how I feel. You get me.
Oh, that's how I feel right now. I hate this time that we spend together.
I should tell my therapist.
My tendency is to, like, not do shit and skip things that, like, just stay home from things I really should be out for. Extended into counseling. Because on 3 separate instances, I've tried to start counseling.
Step 1, procrastinate everything. Step 2, profit.
I wish step 2 would come.
It's coming. Just a couple more hours of sleep.
3 separate instances, I've tried to go to some sort of counseling because I was like, I could probably benefit from this. Mm-hmm. And I go, and the first session, I'm like, wow, this is helpful. Second session, I'll stay home. Never go again.
It's a drive. I think the drive there will deeply affect me from the road rage I'll get.
Yeah.
I could probably benefit from counseling right now, too. Like, I'm in a pretty good place mentally, but I think I need a little reinforcement. Not to get too real, oh God, controversial for the first time on the podcast. It's not the first time.
Yeah.
My self-worth is a little low right now. It's just, like, the way it goes sometimes. So, I will try to look into that if it's not too much of a inconvenience.
Cut that. Our college does have some like a free amount of counseling that you can do.
I was thinking of that.
Which is nice and should be taken advantage of, unlike me.
Please don't take advantage of me.
Don't take advantage of me, please. I'm just a little guy.
He's literally just a little guy.
Just a little 6'1" or 2 guy.
180 pounds.
Yeah, something like that. I have pounds to me.
Meat and bone.
Yeah, that's on me.
It's just a little flesh.
You can compete. You can consume me if you want to.
Okay, John Vore.
Oh, the Vore episode. Let's talk about Vore.
No. Rolling the dice again. Oh, it's Vore.
Oh, look at that. I wrote down Vore right now.
God.
Oh, there was something I want to get back to. Remember that video we watched? Just
like shrieking.
It was about the theater thing. You got me thinking about with the class you have.
Uh-huh.
So theater in high school. How many classes did you take in high school? I only took the one, like the intro
of theater?
one. Yeah.
I took. Funny story about that. I took one, which was IB.
You started with IB?
I started and ended with IB.
Huh.
Just miraculously. I got in. I was not supposed to. People were furious because they spent 4 years trying to get into there, getting rejected. Kai hated me.
Because you just got in free, like...
Yeah, and it was an uphill battle all the way. I wish I would have just never taken theater ever. I wish I never met those people. Not like that. Just like, everyone knew it was kind of bullshit the way I got in there. I did everything that I was supposed to, that I was mandated as a prereq to like get in for that year. Not like beforehand, but like just immediately. Like I wrote down like my monologue. I did everything that I had to, and it was just accepted. No problem. there was no like theory to it. There was no like,
yeah, we got an extra spot.
Yeah,
come on.
It's just a reflection of like, you can also cut this up. She's just insane, and like I'm not too much of a fan of her to begin with because of certain things that happened in that class that I will not publicly disclose.
Yeah, which is funny because My experience with theater was so nice because I took the intro class and there was like way low stakes.
Yeah.
And everybody was just, cool. A lot of it was freshmen or like sophomore because, it's the intro class. It's people just getting into it.
Yeah.
So I just met some cool people that were like hanging out, having fun. And it was a fun class. And we did fun stuff. And a regular teacher, she was kind of wild at some points, but just seemed like a theater teacher from what have heard. But like you should have taken that class. That was fun.
I wished I would have.
And you would have had a blissful experience.
It was technically all for nothing because the IB thing, the point of that was supposed to be that it counts for a college credit. That I could have like added that into my transcript and called that like an advanced theater credit, which would have moved me along in the arts things. But I'm taking an intro in theater because I didn't even consider making the attempt to do that, even though it exists on a transcript of mine. So it was all for nothing, and I created a lot of unnecessary enemies, apparently, because of just, like, my presence there.
I made only friends in my class.
I made exclusively enemies.
Everyone was awesome.
I wasn't trying, and I think that was the thing that drove them crazy. It was just, like, I was playing my nonchalance up as, like, unmatchable talent. And I think if you just believe in yourself hard enough, or like you just like sell your bullshit hard enough.
Is this a Disney movie? If you believe hard enough,
well, if you just
anything can come true.
You can bullshit your way through anything.
Oh, that's not Disney.
And I did. That's DreamWorks.
Oh shit!
I just acted, and I was told it was good by the people whose opinion mattered the most.
You acted your way in there. You acted your way out of there.
Yeah, and I harbored no like apologetic mentality. It was just like really frustrating for the people that sacrificed everything to get there.
Yeah.
I don't blame them one bit. I'm just that good.
They should just fucking step it up next time, I guess.
Yeah, skill issue. It's like
Skishu.
Skishu.
Was it in any way fun?
Yeah, it was fun.
Okay.
Like, it was fun in the way that it shouldn't have been, of just like tormenting people by like occupying like a scene with them where they're like, clearly, what the fuck is this? And then like all of my like effort was just accepted as like perfection.
Huh.
Which, I'm not trying to like upplay how well I was received by Miss. I was just like, I got like an IB jacket and like I got the lead in everything, dude.
Whoa.
I became the lead of every project we worked on that year.
It actually does sound like it would be like a musical or some type of show where this kid who just gets in this class, like, wild, everybody works so hard, but he just, like, gets tossed in there. What am I doing here? And then he becomes, like, the champ of the class. Whoa!
I did. Dude, I Dovahkinned my way through IB Theater.
Was it fun for any of the right reasons? Like, did you do any fun scenes?
Some of it was fun. I mean, most of it was just, like, you just memorize the lines and you say it. If you don't sound like you're trying to do a PowerPoint presentation, that's acting. You're fine.
Yeah.
The truth is, it's really low stakes.
Oh, yeah.
You don't... Yeah, I mean, and it should be. Like, you don't have to... Because here's the thing. I kind of do supersede a lot of people in that... Well, not that class specifically, but, like, in that theater community. Because I can also do the technical stuff. Mm. That's where I should have been the whole time. I should not have been the lead. I should have been, like, the sole tech wizard. Because that's where I thrive. I understand, like... what she wants as a director, and I could have easily delivered that without any explanation as a tech guy, but then we just had no tech people. Like she would have rather I showed everyone up than just been put in the spot where I wanted to be, and where I asked to be. I hope Kai doesn't watch this episode. Kai was furious.
I think Kai listens to every episode.
Oh, God. Kai, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Kai.
Maybe Kai hasn't found the new channel yet. Maybe Kai was just watching the momentos on Sky Craylo.
Oh, I'm sure he has.
I'll send a link to him.
So
to make sure.
Yeah, it's just like I should have been in tech, but I did everything perfectly, and I can't say that for every class, which is why I take this one as a win.
Yeah.
Like right now, I'm about to pass you.
This is actually like really close race we have right now. I kind of like when we set the computer players to easy because then you have a chance.
Yeah. Was it on easy?
Yeah, they're on easy right now.
Okay. So it's basically just like us racing.
Yeah, for the most part. It's a little bit more fun.
Which means that you kind of suck right now.
Yeah. It's kind of odd because when it's on hard, you kind of fall back a bit. I'm usually kind of cruising.
Yeah.
But when it's on easy, I sometimes have a little more trouble, and you're way up at the front a lot of times.
It's, yeah, I guess the CPU affects us somehow.
Yeah.
Which kind of goes back to the other thing. I'm just like, they clearly have an inverse effect on us, and they're not doing anything differently. They're just slightly sucking more. Hopefully I don't get blue shelled.
We don't get bananas.
What was I saying? I guess I'm done. I've pretty much said all I'm going to say about IB theater, but I guess just...
No.
Ooh. Oh, did you see me get right there?
That was close. That was close.
10 behind. We shall see. How many do we have left?
We're about to find out. Oh, we're like halfway through.
On that note, have you ever had like an experience like that where you were not supposed to be there, but you just thrived for some reason?
Where like I don't belong, but then I become.
Yeah.
I feel like most of my YouTube presence.
you just pass people up. Yeah, I have to give that to you. Like, I sort of sat that one out because I mostly am just farming off of your content. But
look at you, you're here right now.
Yeah. Just mooching off of your success. I'm the Danny. When you started and all of our friends were like, well, we'll see when you get there, champ, and you just like pass them up with subscribers like easily.
Okay, not to make Kai more mad.
Just smashing his keyboard right now through webcam POV.
I mean, me and him have talked about this before, but like we have a weird. We were talking about this just today, actually.
Yep.
We have a weird discrepancy where like I have more subscribers than him by a significant amount, but he gets more views than me by a significant amount.
Yeah.
And we don't really get it.
Well, it depends on if you look at viewership in total. I think you might beat him a little bit.
Maybe I have a lot of views
your
in shorts.
Yeah.
Yeah. That like draws people in.
I don't know if I've told you. I routinely check your shorts.
Yeah.
Not like that.
My pants too.
No,
Nice.
Daddy.
Oh yeah. Mommy's passing you up.
My voice is starting to go. I guess I was just talking too much shit. You think you're the shit? You're barely even the fart.
Oh, that's a great quote. Is that from something or is that from your mind?
That was good. Oh, from my mouth?
I said from your mind.
I thought you said from your mom. I thought you were like trying to one up me.
Oh, no. I'm not that funny.
Unlike your mom.
I miss her.
Oh my god, no. No.
Pull that anytime I can. Any opportunity. Love you, Mom.
Bless up. Bless up is such a weird, like, it sounds like the connotation of, like, put on a raincoat, like, dress up. It's gonna be cold. What was I saying?
I don't know.
I guess it doesn't matter. Next topic.
Oh, we were talking about not being in a place you belong, but then thriving, and we were talking about, like, YouTube shit.
So you said, like, you're, like, the newest. Zach's goes, like, a couple years ago, right?
Zach goes 4 years back, but they don't really have a whole lot of videos. Like, they're not persistent.
Yeah.
Consistent, I should say.
Which counts for something. But you are, like, the newest channel. Mm-hmm. And, like, your viewership has consistently gone up. Like, you even have a higher rate. It makes it a valuable piece to get my name in.
Yeah.
and then slowly mooch off of your success when I decide to start a channel.
Yeah. Do you think you're going to start one when Indiana Jones comes out?
Probably. I'm thinking of pre-ordering it. Once I get... Because I'm just barely surviving on my last paycheck from Burlington. Or, I mean, from...
Who cares about them?
Who gives a fuck? Oh, by the way, story on that. So, the process there, because I only worked, like, maybe 12 to 16 hours. I can't remember how many hours I spent training. So, the process there, little insider secret for you, is every piece of clothing is tagged with a pin, like a physical pin, and it has, like, a safety guard on the end of it that you have to remove with a magnet. Every time you sell a piece of clothing, you have to remove one, and there's, like, specialized kinds.
Because that's the, like, robbery shit.
Yep.
Like, anti-theft.
Yep. And they still get away with it anyway, but, like, some of them make it slightly harder than others. Some of them just, like, screech at you. Others of them, they're, like, designed to be uncomfortable, like you could accidentally stab yourself.
Oh, okay.
Which is the biggest hazard.
Yeah.
Which they probably make you, like, sign the part of, like, your employee contract that you can't sue them when that happens, because it's like being a regular cashier at any retail job, except everything you have to remove those godforsaken pins off of. And I've stabbed myself so many times because they're each different. There's like 20 different kinds.
Oh.
You have to commit them to memory because they all have a place they go once you remove them.
It's probably like they've had a lot of clothes staying there from years before, and they've changed the system.
Some of them, if you can believe it, spray ink at you.
What?
Like, if you get it wrong. It's like playing the FNAF repair maintenance thing for FNAF VR. If you break it open, then it breaks these vials of... Where am I going?
Hell. How are you here? You almost cut me off.
I can't stop.
You're getting me
I guess
raged.
Get me blessed.
You cut me off!
You blessed me up right now. Better bless up,
God
son.
can't save you here.
There's this other big hazard of everyone who's a pingus there drops them on the floor when they're like, I don't know where this goes. And then you just have to watch your step so you don't like constantly get ink dabbed pins through your feet.
Oh my god.
And it almost happened to me one time. Like I stepped on a pin, I noticed it in the bottom of my shoe, and I'm like, what's this weird ball on the bottom of my shoe? And I looked down, and like I had just enough sole that it stopped it.
Oh.
Or just enough platform that it stopped it, and I just like pulled it out and pretended like it didn't happen. But it's like, goddamn, it's not worth the 13 an hour. Like, there's way more of a hazard with that than like any other retail job that I've worked. Like Home Depot had paint fumes, which isn't a problem compared to that.
Yeah.
Best Buy,
So it's not an immediate
the
problem.
biggest issue is like having to go unlock these acrylic boxes that they put games in, which is like, I imagine if I got a job anywhere else would be like pretty much that.
The biggest issue with Best Buy is when someone comes in and is like, then you have to deal with that.
Actually, looks at the invisible camera.
Do you have this computer in space gray?
Yes. But Burlington is by far like the least worth it of any of them, because I'm very comfortable with the retail model at this point. I think that's why I just like interview for them perpetually every couple of years and just like get a new one to make money on the side, because it's always the same. There's like a week's worth of training or however many days worth of training where you just get to sit on your butt and click through videos that rot your brain. Then it's just a matter of like routinely doing the same thing for like a couple hours a night.
Yeah.
And it's a very comfortable thing because I would rather much not go back to fast food where I have to like burn myself for even less money.
I actually, if I could get the same experience of working at McDonald's I did, I would
Yeah,
pretty
absolutely
happily go back to McDonald's because that one was great, but I'll never get that again.
Yeah.
Because the one here sucks. All right, I'm feeling a die roll.
We've exhausted those in. No.
0. Oh wait, that's 10. I don't know if this is even a fucking topic we can talk about, but I'm gonna say this out loud.
Okay.
Okay, light speed. Fastest thing that humans know about traveling, right?
Okay.
So say an object theoretically moved at double light speed, right?
Okay.
Follow me? So it like in 5 seconds it moves 2 units of measurement,
Right.
but the light would only move half that, 1 unit of measurement. So theoretically, if you moved at that speed in 5 seconds, you could turn around and then in 5 seconds see yourself come towards you. The light catch up, right?
So in the...
Is that how that works?
So let me just understand.
Would that work?
Are you like educating yourself through what you hope my knowledge is in? Or are you like just asking me in general?
I'm not even asking. I'm just saying this out. This was a thought I had in my mind while I was supposed to be in class one day.
All right, so like if... Okay, so here's the thing. If you took out like a graph and like you drew like a coordinate plane and you were like, hey, this is this distance and this distance and this distance, and you were like, you're moving at X amount rate, which is like assuming it's twice light speed, so you've got like X times 2.
Yeah, because like
Or-
you get there and then the light gets there.
Yeah, so like if you got these like 2 points, theoretically on paper, yeah, it does make sense that like you could see yourself, say, if you're a point, like on the way back. But in the physical universe, light speed is like the limit. That's like the upper limit, because it's not saying like, oh, that's how fast light moves. I mean, it is. That's how fast matter can like be processed and exist, because it can't exist without light. So what you're describing is a black hole, which effectively is the turnaround point. Like, right? So it's like, you know, if you imagine like a trampoline or like a stretchy fabric stretched across a hole, and that's like, you know, representing space, and you have like a bowling ball and that's like creasing space around it. When you have a hole in the material, like that's a black hole, is like a puncture through the space, or like a crease or whatever. And like nothing really escapes that if it's a ball that rolls towards the lowest point, which is whatever based on its mass, right? So if you think about that from a fourth dimensional perspective, which is just like the trampoline with one more dimension added to it. Like that's what a black hole is, and so light just is absorbed into it and like cannot escape it, because like light in this instance behaves as matter would. So you can't surpass the speed of light physically, because that is the limit. Like that's however much speed there is. That's if we live in a simulation or it's like a Minecraft server, that's like the upper like chunk rate
Yeah.
that like things can exist, because it just like won't. I'm not a physicist, but I think there is a very small gray area where things can exist without light, and there's like it's something to do with like antimatter, or just like absence matter, which is just like the quarks or the small little granules or whatever smaller than quarks that can like phase through the known forms of matter. But I don't know if that's very well understood, and I may be talking out of my ass because I know that's like a variable of things. But nothing can really go faster than light, because light is like the gas. That's how you get from point A to point B on the graph, is using like the speed of light. So you can approach it and you can be almost there and still successfully exist as like matter and turn around, and you might be able to like see a ghost of yourself. Maybe, I don't know. It's
Like
it's
that's
not
still
like
bouncing around back there.
yeah, like you might have like the sonic speed thing behind you. Is like you'll see like the smoke that takes your shape or whatever, but it won't be like looking into a black hole, which is a literal expression of what you're talking about, which is like as you approach a black hole, the theoretical things that physicists describe you might see is yourself getting closer, but never reaching an endpoint. And also the spaghettification of your vision, which is just like you get all of the light that you can see gets compressed into a tunnel smaller and smaller until you're just dead, which happens well before you reach the black hole. But then like from an outside observer,
Someone just freezes.
all they're seeing, you just freeze, because that's all they're seeing is the light that you were, because it sucked and then stopped at a point.
Oh god, black holes of the infinite suck.
Yep. You know what I'm doing.
Everybody wonders why you want to be an astronaut when you're a kid.
In my phallic-shaped rocket. I got big plans.
I gotta go fuck that hole.
I wonder what Elon Musk is doing. Well, actually,
The ultimate plan.
the ultimate plan is not to go to Mars, but
To fuck that hole.
to fuck that hole. Yeah, so I don't know if that answers your question, but
Ish.
like,
Well, it wasn't really a question. It was just a statement. You're like,
statement.
nah,
nah, you're wrong. It didn't even...
that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
You can freeze in my black hole anytime you want.
Okay.
Okay, buddy.
You can freeze in my white hole. Well,
Didn't know there was such a thing.
have you heard of that concept? Where like
A white dwarf?
If black holes are where things go in, white holes are where things come out.
Isn't that just like a wormhole?
I guess so. It's like the other side of it, yeah.
So, I mean, I think black holes are like not very understood. No. Oh, I made it. Try approaching that at the speed of light.
2 points ahead.
Hell yeah. We're doing okay.
And I'm 2 points a neck.
2 points in neck.
If you're 2 points ahead, I'm 2 points a neck. I'm just below.
You're 2 points in knees, buddy.
Gorb, we only have 9 races left.
Next topic.
Do you want to roll? Oh, you pause it. It's just... I can close it. I can close it.
I don't. That's just gonna make it worse. Then it's gonna sound like somebody's in your closet.
They are. I mean, no, it's the fridge.
That weirdly did dampen it.
Yeah, there's a fucking block of wood in front of it. Of course it dampened it.
I just thought
Nick's concerned about the fridge noises again.
I wish you would record it sometime.
I did.
Oh,
it's in the
that's
episode
right.
I'm editing right now.
Well, then they know how creepy it is.
Yeah.
9.
9. Things we used to not appreciate, but miss now.
Money.
Legit. That's when I thought about when I was writing that down. Was like when I was in high school or like middle school, I saved up like $1,000 from just birthdays and Christmases of getting money, and I had nothing to spend it on. And that was, way more than enough.
It'd be handier right now, wouldn't it?
Yeah. But like just having some disposable money and no fucking responsibilities. Like all I paid was a phone bill. That was it. That's all the responsibilities I had. Then when I got a car, I paid for gas, but like I drove, at most 15 minutes away to see some friends.
Yep.
that was chill. At the time, I was like, this is just how life is. But now, I'm like, oh, everybody was so close, and I could go out and buy dinner with friends and tip big because I was like, what else am I gonna use this shit on?
I found it's the little things that I appreciate much more now. Just being able to like sit down and have a quiet evening, without having to worry about shit.
Yeah.
Is like money. The lack of money is a little bit satiated by that. Yeah, I know what you mean. Is like, just not having any real responsibilities and like not having any need to fund anything, and then suddenly having money felt like a privilege. But then like later
more money,
on,
more problems.
Yep. Like I know exactly what you mean because I was in an almost identical scenario where I worked in high school just to have like spending money because that was something my mom encouraged. Was like, well, you might have a new appreciation for money once you have it.
Yeah.
And like I saved my first $1,000 only to blow it all later, but that sure would be fucking handy right now. And I'm like, damn, I wish I wouldn't have been so like frivolous with it because that would be like perfect emergency money. Mm-hmm. And it took forever, and it felt like such an accomplishment to finally get it that it was like once it started going, and like it's like, oh, this is a shame.
Then we were like, sweet, video games and Burger King.
Video games and Burger King. And then like
That's
later,
what we still do.
then later I was like that, and I'm like, well, just think about like later down the line from now, you're like, oh man, all I had was like my apartment money, or that I had, like
that was
my
so
apartment
chill back then.
It was so chill. I could still buy games whenever I wanted.
Yeah.
But then then you have to focus even more on working.
Yeah, back then, like a few $100 paycheck, like
Was
where was
everything.
that?
Yeah.
Where was that ever gonna go? I have money for the rest of my life now.
Yep.
Now with school.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, it's budgeted for everything now. I have found that scholarships have been my saving grace, especially once they stop like giving them to you from the Pell Grant and stuff, or like you get like if you transfer to Western, you get like a one-time like WMU achievement award if like they're like, hey, your transcript was high enough, like we'll help you out on your way because you come all this way.
Yeah.
And then they pat you on the butt and you file a report privately. And then they stop giving you that money and they're like, sorry, you're going to have to pay out now. I never make this turn.
My opportunity. You made the turn.
Until I made it.
Fuck! Damn it!
Ooh, I'm this close. I did it. I done diddly doubt it.
I cummed.
What was I talking about?
I don't know. Money bad.
Money
good
problem.
but bad.
So it's, what does feel more rewarding is when you finally make money again. It'd be like a plant that was being starved of water and then suddenly I remember. That's something I'm currently working on right now. You've heard about plenty of my escapades.
Yeah.
New topic?
Sure.
You roll.
I will say really quick though, one other thing I missed from being young was that my family would make meals every night.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I could just fucking eat without having to worry about shit.
You just sit down and like suddenly you're full.
Yeah. It's like delicious meals, like well cooked.
Yeah.
Just fucking gorgeous plates of food.
You don't have to improvise every night. That's what a parent. That's like what being a parent probably is you're like, fuck. I used to have to figure this shit out myself, and now I just wish like my dad would make a meal one last time for that shit. But now I have to like this small child that kind of looks like me. I have to figure some bullshit out for that.
I have to feed between 2 and 5 people now.
Yeah, you probably carry that mentality with you until adulthood. But like right now, it's just you. Like that's all you have to think about.
I can slack off on myself.
Yeah. Have you ever adopted the habit of, since living here, just like having like a nice delicious meal of nothing for dinner? Like
Maybe.
I'll do like a whenever I'm hungry policy.
Yeah.
Now, where it's just like I won't have a regular dinner, which is probably healthier. I'll just do like I can afford to eat tonight. But then other nights I'm just like, you know what? I'll have some sleep for dinner.
Coffee's good.
Coffee is good.
I had water. That's enough.
A cracker that I found.
Water is a mineral. That's not true.
It has baking soda in it.
So it can. If you put it there.
And then sometimes, like, splurging feels like the naughty, guilty pleasure of, like, ooh, I'm going to buy an $18 hamburger. Like, and then, like, not eat again for the next 4 days.
Yeah. I definitely got... I don't know if spoiled is the right word. I guess spoiled for my situation at the moment.
Yeah, I mean...
With that Thanksgiving food from the Friendsgiving.
Yep.
I was like, I get to eat for the next 5 years.
It's 5 years compressed into 3 weeks.
Yeah. I've just today finished that food.
Yeah.
It was so much. It was great.
Have you ever like
I will starve now.
as an adult looked at your I will proceed to starve now. Excuse me. Have you ever like as an adult with like a, a questionable income looked at your bank statement and you're like, "Ooh, that is way less money than I thought I had." Or like you had a certain amount of money, you're like, "Okay, I'm going to only do these things," and then suddenly it's lower than you wanted it to be.
A couple times, not as often, because I do keep like a
Try
decent
to budget. Yeah.
track on. There was one time where I was like, okay, I know I'm getting low on money, but I think I'm okay for now. But I wasn't looking. I wasn't like, keeping full track.
Yeah.
And then I went to go get groceries with Trinity. It was one of the times that we got to visit each other, and we were going to make a couple meals together.
Yeah.
Like have a night of cooking. Mm-hmm. And we got to the checkout, and I put my card in. And it was like, oh, it declined. I'll try that again. I like wipe it off a little bit. It declined again.
Whoops, that must have been a fluke.
That was like, wait.
And
And then I pull out my phone, check my bank app. I was like, Trinity? Oh. When you don't realize it's coming up, it's like, oh, fuck. Because right now I'm really low, but I'm like, I knew what I was getting into, at least.
Just getting by.
All right, let's see what we got. I got a 1, which is bad inventions. And I have a couple examples here.
Refrigerator.
It's terrible. I never use one.
Hate them.
It makes Michael Myers sounds in the
They
background.
breathe.
The examples I had written down were from when I worked at Michael's, because I had such bad contained experiences with a couple things there.
Yeah.
That I wanted to gripe about, and we didn't really have the opportunity until now. But they're both related to, like, I was, a stalker, so I was unboxing products. Mm-hmm. One of them was with the packaging, and one of them was with some of the products. With the packaging was styrofoam. I fucking hate styrofoam, and I hated it more when I worked there and had to deal with it every day for multiple hours a day.
It's just like messy and squeaky.
Yeah, I'd hate that it's staticky, so it sticks to you, and it sticks to the things that I'm trying to unbox.
Yeah.
Because it falls apart too. Like, it's not, like, the whole unit of it is, strong enough to protect the thing sometimes. Sometimes I pull stuff out and it's fucking broken anyway, and I get cuts and I have to die.
Be resurrected.
But, like, if I'm trying to take something out, or, like, pry something out of the styrofoam that's, like, gripping it too tightly, a lot of times those little fucking balls of it, those little, like,
They
nubs
just
of
start
styrofoam,
levitating.
yeah, they start sticking to it, and you can't just, like, brush them away, because they just come back to it.
Yeah.
They stick to it, or they stick to me, and I'm not happy anymore. And that's my whole day. So that's one. And the other one was with some of the products. Glitter. Michael's...
You just don't
companies,
like not unintentionally sticky things.
yeah, things like get to me and then they're with me for the rest of my life.
You're like a cat. Like if somebody put gloves on your hands when you didn't want them, your day would be over. Kill me!
Start running around the room.
Yeah.
The companies that make some products for Michael, I can't remember what they were called, but they cannot get glitter right. And I feel like most companies that make things with glitter on them can't get it right.
Yeah.
To where half the glitter that's on it will come off if you just pick the thing up. It just doesn't stick to it. What I feel like what they should do at the factory is they put the glitter on it, like they put the adhesive and they put the glitter on it, and then they shake it a bit to see if it'll stick. Whatever doesn't stick gets recycled to be glitter for the next product.
They should.
You would
Because
think that's
glitter is apparently like a non-perishable, like bad for the environment thing too.
Yeah.
Like it trickles into the system because it's so like infinitesimal.
Yeah, you can't like just sweep it away or something.
Yeah, it sticks to every surface and adheres to it. And like if you breathe it in, the effects of it are cumulative. It's like microplastics.
Yeah.
Like, it's bad.
If you get it in your eyes, you can lose an eye.
Yeah.
It's terrible. And then they just put it on fucking kids' products.
It doesn't even
to
make
it look
things
cool.
look that pretty.
No,
Like,
they look disgusting.
I probably have a percentage of my body with glitter in it right now.
Yeah. And I'm not happy about it. No.
Nothing you can do to stop it.
You slut fuck! I'm sorry.
Felt some real rage in that one. I have one. Church pews.
Church pews?
Yeah.
Define a pew, I can't remember.
A church pew is the really like archaic style of church bench that makes up like takes up the entire. Because it would be so much simpler to just switch back to regular chairs.
Yeah.
And it would to me feel much more organized. But church pews are designed apparently to make you wildly uncomfortable for however long you have to suffer through because they're cushioned with like asbestos or whatever because they're a very old ass design. The wood is weak anyway, just like vine boom and like roasting the shit out of at least the church pews that I'm familiar with, they look like slightly aesthetically pleasing, but by the end of like a church session and I get up, my ass feels like it's been like creased into my spine and I have to like pray to God to free me from this torment.
The whole church session was spent trying to save your own ass.
I could have just sat in a chair and it's been much more comfortable, and then like maybe I would have learned something. So I blame them.
Okay, I have something to say on a related note about like sitting arrangements that are bad.
Yeah.
I don't know if any other place has these other than like the art classrooms. There are a decent amount of the art classrooms in the school here that the chairs and like the desk part is kind of cool because there's like an easel that you can tilt and like raise in height or like, you know, tilt towards you or tilt away to make it a table or an easel like facing you so you can actually paint on it upright and not have to like lean over it, which is cool. But the chair part of it is just a rectangle. Like it's not left and right.
Like a stool?
You have to straddle it. You have to straddle a rectangle.
Oh my God.
It doesn't make sense.
They just like don't give you like a regular chair with back support or anything?
No. I would prefer just a regular stool, but you have to straddle this weird, like imagine...
Your legs just get like the pressure cut off in them?
So the same like, the easel / table is just like a solid block of whatever.
Yeah.
Imagine that a little bit thinner between your legs.
That just sucks.
It doesn't make sense. It sucks to sit on, and a lot of those studio art classes are 3 hours long.
You might perform better, like, if you had a more comfortable spot.
Yes, definitely. I hate being in there. I leave early half the time.
Yeah, I can see how that would suck. Lecture-style, like, seating arrangements in general, like, I'm not trying to overstate it or understate it or whatever. Like, it's just what it is. I'm a kind of a big dude. Like, I'm relatively tall. Like, I'm above average height, and I weigh 250 pounds. I take up a lot of space. I'm sure there are bigger people, whatever. I'm not body shaming them. I'm not condoning myself or whatever.
It's just a statement of your situation.
It's just, yeah. So seats are a very sensitive subject for me because, like, I can't just sit on a plane and not have my knees crushing into the back of, like, somebody else's seat and, like, either breaking the plastic, breaking my knees, or breaking their back. It's just the way it is.
You also probably can't sit on a plane and not have your shoulders, like, uncomfortably rubbing up against the next person to you.
It feels like it's an assault on everyone around me and me.
Yeah.
It just sucks. And no!
My opportunity!
Damn it!
You only get one shot. Do not miss a chance to blow!
I'm gonna kill myself.
I'm the M&Ms. I went to D12.
I'm the Skittles who wins.
Yeah.
6.
That's my joke. I say 6 a lot.
6. I hardly know her. Am I still ahead of you?
Yeah. Sir?
Excuse me.
Bless
anyway,
you.
I'm big.
Yeah.
And yeah, church pews present that issue because, like, I'm also touching the one in front of me while I'm trying to, like, brace my back against this wooden board. So for lecture style classes, it's a chair that is, like, snap rotating one direction. Mm-hmm. You can either, like, stuff your backpack underneath you, like, set it in the seat next to you. Getting up and sitting down in those things is a nightmare. And I usually do this thing like I do in a lot of my chairs where I turn sideways because I have slightly more room. And then it looks like I'm being a prick. Like, it looks like I'm, like, not paying attention, being too cool for school or whatever, when it's, like, the only comfortable position I could be in. What would they rather me do? Like, just hunch over and, like, look like some oaf? Like, shit sucks. It's BANAS.
To be fair, probably nobody's actually looking at you because they don't give a shit. They're there and they're dealing with their own things.
This is true.
But it does, like, the seating arrangement in general sucks.
I just wish they would, like, better accommodate, like, people who are, like, physically larger in all sizes. Mm-hmm. Or smaller, like, whatever. Just, like...
They just suck to sit in general.
The world is not created equal in terms of body physicality.
Mm-hmm. What does this say?
Whoops.
What?
4.
4. Okay, Jesus Christ.
I got 9 again.
Okay, this one's strange eating habits and food combos.
We did cover that a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
I can start by telling you what I literally had for dinner today.
What'd you have for dinner today?
Egg drop soup reheated from my mini fridge with ramen noodles and sriracha in it,
Hell yeah.
which is a college dish if there ever was
That's
one.
the most college dish I've ever heard.
It was scorching hot at first, and then I set it down for 30 seconds, and it became the most cold thing I've ever touched. My hands were getting frostbite as I touched it. And surprisingly, shit was pretty good. It felt like a snack that I would already buy.
Oh, like you would buy it out of a bowl
I'd buy
like
a
that?
packet, and then like it would make that like out of a packet. It's a one-off thing, though. I'm not gonna do that again. It was good, but it's like a fling. You know,
Yeah, it
like,
was-
let's not get too personal.
It was like a situation that presented itself to you. Like, I already have this thing and I have these other
It's
things.
a matter of circumstance, like most dinner.
Dinners that we do, at least.
One time I saw a zebra.
So I had chicken for dinner. Immediate thing that came to mind, this is like only half on topic. It's things that I'm not supposed to eat that I kind of want to eat.
The bad food.
The forbidden foods.
The endless Twinkie supply.
No. Things that actually aren't food.
No. Like Legos.
Not specifically that, but something like that.
Viable option.
It's like I'm teetering on the edge of almost having pica.
It's like they are technically edible.
No, but it's like I'm tempted, but I'm not going to.
Oh, like marbles.
Like, I really want to eat paint.
Well, don't.
And I'm not going to for now.
So I say to you.
I wonder if part of the reason why I like fell in love with painting and wanted to start doing it as a career was because when I started mixing those paints, I
It
was
just
like,
looks
damn.
yummy.
I was like, I could be with this forever.
You know what I've always wanted to do that doesn't technically classify as what you're talking
Eat
about,
paint?
but very similar. I want to take all of the Oreos out of like 12 boxes of Oreos and peel the flappy cream part apart and mash that all into a bowl and just go to town.
Oh my god.
It's definitely like not going to taste how I wanted it to because
I think it will. I fantasize about that, and I think it will. I have to believe.
salivating over it.
There's no water in my mouth. I've only drank coffee. I'm caffeinating over it.
It's my next target.
I'm gonna peel apart the coffee and eat only the coffee.
I wanted. You technically do that. It's called digestion. I want to try it, even though I'm way past the age that I ever would have. I'm probably not going to. But I feel like I could probably emulate that in a better way with just something else.
Maybe if I ever start that food channel that I want to do,
Just do that.
I'll have you on for an episode of that, and you'll eat all the creams and I'll eat all the cookies.
The cookie part I can't stand. Like,
Really? You don't like the cookie part?
The milk is what makes that tolerable to me.
If
I've
peel
never
apart
had
a
something.
Cookie, if I peel apart an Oreo, I'll eat the cookie on its own and be like, yeah, I like that. Eat the cream on its own. Yeah, I like that. Like I love both parts of it.
I cannot stand the inauthentic taste that the chocolate part creates because it's maybe like 10% cocoa and like 90% wafer.
Less than that of cocoa, probably.
Yeah, I mean probably because it's also like an unnaturally black color for how mild it tastes. It made me think of the like lawsuit thing that there was a main competitor to Oreo because technically they forgot to like license themselves or patent themselves, so like anyone can duplicate the design, which is why they have all the off-brand ones. But there's like a main competitor when Oreos first came out that like
It was like the original Oreos, right? It was like
or something.
hydroxykin or
Yes,
something.
hydroxes or something.
It was something with an X. That
So
was,
they sounded like a cleaning product, and
Yeah.
that was like their main downfall. Those like somehow were the closest emulator, and they just like made themselves like $1 cheaper to Oreos, even though like they sounded like not at all appealing. They almost 1-to-1 simulated the taste of Oreo for like a cheaper cost.
I thought they were the first ones, and Oreo came in. It was the secondary.
They might have also been that, but I think they withstood a little bit while Oreo was out, and then like Oreo somehow won the rights.
Yeah.
Like I said, the cream part is the only thing that has an appeal to me.
Huh.
Anyway, what were you talking about?
Wanting to eat paint.
Oh, yeah. That too. I understand slightly the appeal because it's like, ooh, pretty colors. But also, that shit is not going to taste how it's going to be bitter. It's not going to taste how you hope it will.
Bitter. Interesting. I mean, when you peel apart an Oreo and just eat the cream out of that, like you've done that before, right?
Yes.
That tastes good. Just eating the cream like that.
I almost exclusively do that, and then sometimes I put the chocolate part back.
I'll take them.
Well, I don't have them with
Give them to me.
Num num in my tum tum.
Listen, to me, it's all just num nums.
I know.
Hey, it's that thing I say.
I know, Luke.
Like and subscribe.
Join the Sky Kralo army.
Oh, you goblins out there.
Be the first to comment the code that you see in this video to win a free iPhone. You won't win a free iPhone.
Yeah. Type this timestamp in the comments to suck my dick.
I logged onto the Minecraft server today, and I was continuing on our Parliament building, only to wonder why I couldn't go to sleep. And then I tabbed and saw Kara was in the server, and that would be the first time I've ever spoken to them in maybe 5 years, 4 years, maybe 3 years,
Some amount of years.
some amount of years. And she's not in the Discord, so I was just like, hi. And she was like, hi, who is this? And I'm like, first of all, can you sleep? and then she finally slept, and I was like, this is Nick from 11th grade. She's like, oh, what's up? I'm like, nothing much.
I like to think she's really excited to be interacting with you again, but you're interpreting
Like,
it
I
as
didn't
this...
interpret. Yeah. She did say something about like a blast from the past, but I was like, yeah, we're building a Parliament building. Don't mind me. Like, she kept going to the Nether. She took down the trap you set for me, the cherry blossom barricade.
Yeah, when I logged on today, she was like, is there any reason this is chap? I was like, not a good one.
I can't justify it.
Also, apparently the Parliament building scared her.
Scared her?
She was like, what is this?
Too complicated? We're building a cult church.
It's too awesome.
It's too awesome?
It's too good and
Then
impactful.
Well, then I feel like we're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
It scared her?
Apparently it scared her, and then
she-
it also scared her when she went to bed and realized that I was also on the server.
What?
1 out of 2. Put this on Reddit. I went to bed when no one else was on the server, but it said 1 out of 2 sleeping.
Am I the asshole?
Am I the asshole if I Minecraft?
Uh-oh. Better look out, Pookie.
Is this the last race or is there one more?
Probably.
Because we're tied right now in points.
Probably
And it
that.
usually doesn't fucking matter, and it doesn't still. But I want to win because we're close.
I know. Oh, shit. No, not me. me.
Yeah,
You-
Brodo, get in there!
you-
Brodo, get... Yeah!
Oh, no!
I think we have one left. You could take it still. There's a chance.
God.
I need
Oh
to
my
get...
God.
You need to get first, and I need to get fourth or worse.
This is uncomfortably close. And
Yeah.
what time is it? 4 in the morning?
4:35.
4:30. Okay, that's fine.
Something or other. That's not fine for you.
It's not. Whatever.
Yeah. Okay, back to the all-nighter thing. Is it better, in your experience, to try to power through it and just stay up the whole way, or get, like, the couple hours of sleep?
In my experience, the couple of hours of sleep give you a little bit of boost at the end, because when I have powered through, I am generally more awake and ready to go, because my body is not like feeling confident enough to shut down for a little bit while I give it just enough sleep to keep my heart pumping. But when I do stay awake, towards the end, I become zombified and like I can't function, not without like stimulants. Like, yeah, generally for the first couple hours, like I feel wide awake right now. But as soon as I stop doing something, my body's going to be like, holy fuck, we need, like, sleep right now. We're losing cells at, like, a bad rate.
We were on the reserve energy back then.
Yeah, we didn't sign up for this, dude. So, I don't know. Might sleep, might not. Don't care. I have to drive an hour.
Might delete later. Felt cute.
Technically 2 hours of commute time total.
Yeah.
And I'm also carpooling by picking up everyone. So,
That's not
everyone's
great.
life is in my 4 hours of sleep hands.
Or less.
Or less.
Actually, less.
Probably less.
Yeah.
I almost called it at the end of Sonic Unleashed, but I'm like, it doesn't matter. But you know what? I don't even care.
Yeah, I don't know why you suggested to do a podcast after this. By the way, we're talking about Sonic Unleashed on the channel that we also do called Lighting My Battlegrounds. It's me, Nick, Trinity, Zach, and Kai. We do group challenges, and it's a competitive gaming channel. And if you win, you get to choose the next videos that happen. So
This
if you
is
want to
not a
check that
paid
out,
sponsorship.
click the top right corner if you're on YouTube, or if you're on Spotify, which don't feel like clicking anything, you
What?
can look up later, Lightning Round Battlegrounds.
Wait, we're on Spotify?
Yeah, nobody listens, though.
Like, do we...
I look at the stats, not many people watch on Spotify.
You mean Lightning Round Battlegrounds?
No,
Or what we usually do?
what we usually do.
I listen on Spotify. I used to listen when I would go, like, home for the weekend and like go to see my grandma or whatever.
But those assholes haven't posted in a while.
I know.
With the sleeping thing, I've found that staying up all the way versus like getting a couple hours of sleep, both of them suck in different ways. If I decide to stay up the whole way, I will eventually have to sleep like midday during that day because I just can't make it all the way through.
Yeah.
And the time before that in the morning fucking sucks. I made it. I'm the winner. I'm the ultimate winner. No. I win this episode.
No.
I get to choose the next game. Like in my Battlegrounds.
No.
The next game is going to be Mario Kart Wii.
Not if I thumb my eyes out.
Then I can't play. Yeah, it'll just suck for the rest of the day. And I'll fuck up my entire sleep schedule.
Yeah.
Or if I decide to sleep for a couple hours, I'll fuck up my sleep schedule in a different way where I won't get up for the things I need to do in the morning.
Yeah.
I just will sleep. So it's like, what's better for the moment? My health or the thing I need to do in the morning? I usually pick sleep. And then, things go bad.
I can tell you what I will be doing, though, is setting my alarm to the last possible moment that I can, just to maximize.
Yeah, get the most out of it as possible. Yeah. Thank you for listening to us if you still do. Good shit.
Good shit. Thanks for having me on. Hope we can make this a regular thing.
Having you on? This is half your podcast.
Perhaps.